Hello, welcome to the Dino and the Ted show.
The Dino and the Ted? I'm the Ted?
Welcome to the Dino and Ted show. With sometimes without Ted.
What do you mean sometimes without me? My name's in the damn show. I'm here. I show up on time, ready to go.
Yeah. Hey, we got a good one. Phantom of the Paradise.
Yes.
Unfrickin' believable film. If you've never seen it, you got to give it a chance.
I love this movie.
1974, although they were going to release it originally in 1972, but
Sat
they
on
waited.
the shelf for a couple years. There were issues, which we will enumerate as the film rolls on.
Yeah, they fixed all that though. This ended up a gem.
Yeah, so it's like a new show, but the same set.
Yeah, the Dino and Ted show. Just thought we needed a change.
Thought we'd make it more accessible.
To tell you the truth, I just don't give a shit. But
make it more accessible.
Yeah, it's gonna be. No, you know what?
I'm kind of hoping a big producer out there will be watching this, and we'll get rich.
It's more than just. We'll still be doing horror, but we're going to be doing
horrors.
We're going to be doing other stuff too. So it allows us to do other movies.
I've been dying to do other movies.
I just like the name The Dino and Ted Show better.
Well, there you go.
The Late Horror Show was
music, nostalgia, and
mainstay,
movies.
and
that's it.
It's almost like we're starting over, though. I mean,
that's the Eminem.
People are probably looking and going, "The Dino and Ted Show. Who is this?" Although they should know Dino and Ted.
They should know us by now.
You should know, but you know, hey.
We're infamous.
But anyways, fantastic soundtrack. It's what
Phantom of the Paradise.
It's what lured me in. But 1974, this movie came out.
Phantom of the Paradise.
Right.
Mine. These are
your
mine.
Blu-ray, your soundtrack.
2-disc set.
Yes.
1-disc set.
And what came out a year later was the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I think
the film, right?
I'm not sure if there was any influence.
No.
But man,
Phantom of the Paradise beats it on all counts.
No.
Not as far as being a movie, but.
But do you think Rocky Horror pulled some things from this?
No, because the Rocky Horror Show. The stage production that started.
Oh, that was before.
That was 73.
Okay.
And then the film version was 75. So Rocky Horror was.
Still
Phantom of the Paradise was already in the can.
It's 72.
All right.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Show became a thing.
Right.
Then became a film after Phantom of the Paradise was released and bombed. And technically, so did Rocky Horror Picture Show was released and bombed. And then
but my point being,
I don't think one influenced the other. I just think.
Well, Rocky Horror Picture Show has
midnight movies.
Has that Frankenstein kind of thing, you know, with Rocky and all that coming out.
I think it was just...
And the same thing with Beef kind of in there.
There's definitely some similarities that I want to point out.
God damn it.
But
although this movie pulls...
I think they just both, grew out of people that just dug the same things. I bet if you put Brian De Palma and Richard O'Brien in a room together, they probably got a lot in common. They probably like a lot of the same things, and... They kind of.
Well, I mean, irregardless, if like he pulled stuff from Phantom of the Paradise, I mean, it's. I mean,
I don't think he could have because it was in the can. It hadn't been released yet when the
you don't
stage
think
show
he
came
saw
out.
Some kind of inside stuff or.
No, he was broke in a hotel room in England, and
how coincidental that there were some very similar aspects, the whole Rocky thing and Frankenstein, because Phantom of the Paradise pulls from. 3 types of different stories, like Phantom of the Opera, the 1943 version, the Acid on the Face, where William Finley,
that's true.
He's got that kind of
not born that way as in the original story.
And then we got Faust, classic tale.
Picture of Dorian Gray with Paul Williams' character staying forever young.
Well, then there's 4 then.
A little bit of Frankenstein.
A little bit of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein in there too. So,
and it's just a blending of genres, not just a musical, not just horror. There's dark comedy. There's even little montages to Hitchcock, little montages to silent films.
Right.
There's
an Orson Welles. One of the scenes reflects back to
the split screen with the bomb.
But I forget what movie.
Touch of Evil.
Touch of Evil. That's
Touch of Evil. And rock and roll. Rock and roll throughout. The history of rock and roll, and
from the 50s.
Whereas Rocky Horror Picture Show is kind of just a just rock and roll, not mixing any kind of genres.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're both separate entities.
They got the little science fiction Frankenstein classic movie thing going on. A lot of similarities between the two, but I don't think one necessarily influenced the making of the other. It's just, I think they just both kind of, boom, came out. Because I've read up lots on Phantom of the Paradise. I've watched all kinds of videos. I've watched every extra on the Blu-ray, commentaries, and they don't even mention Rocky Horror. They don't even really mention it.
No. Right.
And Rocky Horror doesn't mention Phantom of the Paradise, so...
But again, if you watch both
fans,
of them, if you watch both of them, they're mostly, like I said, that Rocky beef type. There are some scenes in there that, but anyways,
it's worth talking about.
But they're two separate movies, and they got two separate like feels to the movie. I mean,
definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean they're two
separate
entities.
Fan bases,
separate entities. Like
Rocky Horror is the more mainstream,
right? Yeah.
You know that,
and that was the underground movie.
Yeah, I mean the people. There's no in between with Phantom of the Paradise. You were either in love with this movie, or you couldn't give a damn about it.
Yeah, you know the number one thing I love about this movie and movies like this is when you can take a movie like Phantom of the Paradise and you can take William Finley's character in this movie or another character in another movie, but in this one particular, William Finley, who plays the Phantom, I can put myself in his character. Like, me and him become one as I'm watching the film. And that doesn't always happen. Like, seldom does that happen in a movie. You
identify more with the character than you're just being entertained by the character.
Or you
project some of yourself in there. There's a little bit of you in there.
Somehow the movie portrays the Phantom in a way that you kind of connect with.
He's a man who's double-crossed.
And you feel, especially if you're just sitting there watching the film, you're part of that. You're feeling the emotion, the singing. The soundtrack helps. I mean, without a doubt.
Marvelous song.
But
gotta be a Paul Williams fan.
That's number one. What I love about this movie.
And when we were coming up in the '70s, Paul Williams was everywhere. I mean, he was in the Muppet movie.
Show.
He wrote songs. Everybody knew. Paul Williams wrote these songs for the Carpenters.
And he composed all these.
He was in Smokey and the Bandit. Remember Smokey? Yeah. He was in Battle for the Planet of the Apes as an ape. Paul Williams was everywhere. He was,
It was a young orangutan. Well, he has an iconic look. I mean,
really a unique look. Yeah. At least back then. Not so much now.
No,
but back then in the '70s.
Well, his hair was that straight, long,
almost elfin looking.
And he would have those
glasses and that. And it's not
that
he was
like candles. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Those big sunglasses were, brown sunglasses.
It's not that he even had the greatest voice. It's just such a unique voice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Get out of here.
Woo! Okay. Anyway.
But let's just say before we hit play and start our commentary, this is going to be commentary because there's lots to talk about with this film. The idea, the gestation for the idea.
Yeah.
Do you know the gestation for the idea?
Go ahead.
You need to tell them. He was getting into Brian De Palma, famous director, part of the...
He wanted to do this film in the 60s.
Yes, in the 60s is when the idea first started to gestate. Yeah. He was getting on... and Brian De Palma...
Sort of like the egg in the uterine wall.
Implantation.
Or whatever.
He's one of that next generation of filmmakers like Spielberg and Coppola and George Lucas. They were all contemporaries. Martin Scorsese. They all knew each other.
Right. Motherfuckers.
And if you think George Lucas didn't see Phantom of the Paradise and take that little box and put it on Darth Vader, you're wrong. If you think he did, because he did. But that's what they did. They were all friends and borrowed from each other and ribbed on each other like that. But Brian De Palma was getting in an elevator one day. And he heard a Beatles song. But it was a Beatles song, as he says.
Yeah.
He didn't say which song it was. But that they took this magical, beautiful music of the Beatles and reduced it to Muzak in an elevator. And that's sort of what gave him the idea. And that's a theme that goes throughout this whole picture from when the main character, Winslow Leach, or the Phantom, first sings his song. And then throughout the film, you see how the song is changed and twisted and distorted, and completely bastardized from what he originally intended it to be, and all the different iterations it takes, which we'll talk about as the movie goes on. But that's where it actually came from. From elevator music.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. No,
it just didn't seem like there was a good spot to talk about that, except right before we start.
No, but perfect segue to start the movie. No, actually, I didn't know that, so I don't know where you picked that up at. Your research.
When I like a movie, I like a movie.
I know you do. Didn't I tell you about this too? And
I told you about it.
Did you?
I think so.
When did you see this? The first time you seen this?
It's been a long time.
Years. Okay.
I mean, I've had this since day one when it came out. I don't
Okay.
remember what year it came out.
Okay, so if you're watching along with us at home,
But we're just big fans. Now, we haven't been lifelong fans of it. I didn't get to see it in a theater setting. I don't ever remember it being on TV or cable. I don't ever remember renting the tape.
Yeah. It's a recent find for me, like within the last 2 years, believe it or not. And I'm like going, how the hell did I miss this movie?
Yeah, it was just one that, looking at lists of movies, and there it was. And I said, that sounds interesting. And I tried it and wished I could have been enjoying it all these years. But hey, I have it now. So
Exactly. Yeah. So, really quick. Check out all our links down below to everything that we do. We got a Patreon. You could go there, support us. Even $1 a month helps. Woo!
does it?
Sure, it does.
Does it? What does that dollar do?
If you get
for
50 people at $1, that's 50.
All right, I want 50 people to donate $1.
But if you're on iTunes and you're listening to the podcast, we'll describe this movie as we're going as best as possible.
Also for the seeing impaired, I guess, too.
For the seeing impaired, yes, that's the truth. And
if
for
you
all
can't
our
hear
people,
us, I can't help you.
All the people over, across the seas who listen to us on they're in their podcasts and all that good stuff. Just listen to us talk about the movie. Yeah. But if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch along. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and on 1, press play.
That's right.
If you're going to watch it with us. So, popcorns, candy corns, because it's almost Halloween. It's all out there now.
Your deviled eggs, whatever you want to eat.
Deviled eggs, oh, God.
I heard that's what they used to serve in movie theaters before popcorn.
Deviled eggs?
I swear to God, I heard that.
Is that what you
somewhere.
ate before you came over?
I don't like eggs.
Oh, deviled eggs are great.
I mean, I like devil anything, but
I never eat them because when you go to a party and they're sitting there, you know the egg has been sitting there at least an hour.
So you make them, you just eat them right away.
Well, it's got to be cold out of the refrigerator and all that bacteria growing on the egg.
I don't dig eggs.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. So
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Hey, now that Disney owns Phantom of the Paradise, maybe we'll get a reboot.
You think?
Yeah, and then all the people that do like trailer reactions can do a trailer reaction and say, "Well, I never saw the original, but this looks good."
A reboot of. A reboot of Phantom of the Paradise. What's cool about the movie, as it starts and opens up, you get a
familiar voice.
Intro voiceover by Rod Serling from Twilight Zone. And that
was a show in the 60s that lots of people care about.
Yes. Unlike the one that's on CBS All Access.
And he's talking about, Rod Serling's talking about Swan. This character, this elusive, I guess, musician, of course, but, how he has, no one seems to question how he's lived through the decades. He's, he brought rock and roll.
Well, yeah, there's a little supernatural
to England,
side to this towards the end.
Brought Liverpool to the United States, got the whole, and he's, They're talking about all his achievements, these gold records at this young age, and his label is it was
Death
supposed
Records.
to be Swan Song Records, but that's a lawsuit, which we'll talk about. And but then it was Death Records, which I like. I like Death Records.
No, that's cool. And the birds just flopped over dead.
It's not a swan; it's a sparrow or swallow or something like that.
So it stars William Finley, who's done mostly the Brian De Palma films.
Yeah, he's been in
here,
Brian De Palma
but he
films.
plays the Phantom. You got Jessica Harper
from Suspiria. Shock
who's,
Treatment, another musical where, and she was actually like in
who's beautiful.
She is.
Here. I don't know.
She seems really cool.
So sweet.
And she was doing like I think like Broadway kind of shows or off Broadway shows. She was a singer.
Yeah.
So that's she was a singer before she was an actress. And this is her first film.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I gotta love the '50s style that's in
how
this
they
film.
open
How
up.
it starts off. This is Swan's backing band, the Juicy Fruits.
The Juicy Fruits.
And they're bringing the nostalgia wave. They're riding like that sha-na-na wave. You don't know what sha-na-na is.
Well, since you mentioned it, originally Brian De Palma had Sha-Na-Na. And they're a group
wanted them to be in it.
that you would find on Grease. Everybody knows Grease.
Yep.
Sha-Na-Na is the band that comes and plays during the high school dance.
They had did they have a TV show, or were they just on variety shows throughout? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I remember them watching them on TV all the time.
I think there was a Sha-Na-Na show, but they were
like a
variety
throwback
shows and
50s doo-wop, you had a Greaser, Bowser, that kind of style.
But he said they were way too difficult to work with, so he said.
Well, and also Paul Williams, who eventually got brought on board to do the soundtrack, because he was very popular at the time. Even in some interviews with him, said, I've got my own band that I'm very comfortable with. I love Shannon. I love the guys in that group.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be a little bit more intimidated working with them because they're an established group.
Right.
I'm an established artist, and there might be that clash. But
right.
So it ended up not being Shannon. It ended up being, these guys right here that will take different iterations. These guys actually are 3 different bands throughout the movie. Film.
Yeah.
And some of these guys are in Paul Williams' actual backing band that he would use.
Yeah.
But it's that classic 50s, there's like the little story in the middle, Eddie's sister needed an operation.
Yeah.
And they say, and even like if like the Ramones, I mean, this is the kind of stuff the Ramones loved. Mm-hmm. And they got a song 7-Eleven. It's got like the little, horrible tearjerker story in the middle that Joey talks about. It's just that style, and I love that, man. I love that. La, 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 la.
Oh no, typical
that's
50s
cool.
song, yeah.
And that's where
I love the guy
off.
in the background too. You got some hippie looking dudes that
look
straight out of Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Oh god, I like that guy right there playing bass. Usually
that's the guy I'm talking about.
He doesn't look so much hippie. He just looks like he doesn't belong in the band.
Oh, he looks like a beatnik, straight from.
I don't know. He just looks so weird.
Yeah.
So this is the Juicy Fruits performing.
Yeah, while they're performing for Swan.
They're putting on a show at this club. I forgot the name of the club.
This one is in the Paradise, right?
No, the Paradise is not yet.
Yeah, that's right.
But then we just see Swan's hands clapping.
We saw William Finley, though, go up on the marquee or the billboard, and he put glue over the sign for the Juicy Fruits and put
his Winslow Leach.
Yeah, the Piano Man or something like that.
Oh, something.
On piano.
On
something
piano,
like that.
yes.
And just so people know, he's going to be performing.
And now we meet the heavy in the movie here, Philbin.
Yeah.
He's talking about some girl that he helped make a star.
Yeah.
It actually kind of echoes the Godfather.
Yeah.
In when Tom Hagen, Robert Duvall's character, goes to visit the big movie producer, and he's talking about the girl he gave singing lessons to, dancing lessons. So I made her a big star, and not to make it all dollars and cents, but she was a great piece of ass too. Mm-hmm. And he basically says the same thing. I told her who to suck, I got her the I made her the money grubbing whore she is.
And what's funny is Paul Williams goes, his character Swan says, he goes, forget about her.
Yeah, what do you want to do? And he's like, I want to crush her.
She's old news.
She's old news. And that's kind of like how it is, at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
She's gone. She's yesterday's news. She's forgotten.
Yep.
And in the background, you hear a voice over his speaker, getting ready for the next act. And Winslow Leach is putting his piano up there. He's getting ready. He's not the next act.
he just came right in.
He's just putting his piano there, and he starts playing this song called Faust.
And the minute that song starts in this film, that's where you go. I mean, we had the 50s, whatever that song was at the very beginning, the 50s one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was great. But when this song hits, Faust, it's just the whole feel of this movie is just tremendous.
Right.
I mean,
and this is the actual actor singing this particular version of the song.
Yeah, which is good too. I mean,
Paul
Paul Williams has a
I got both versions on here.
On the soundtrack.
There's the Winslow version and the not Winslow version. Yeah. But he's singing this song. It's beautiful, you know.
Oh, I love it, man.
Couldn't fall asleep last night, you know. And there's the great lyric in it. Dream a bit of style, dream a bunch of friends, dream each other's smile, dream it never ends. I mean,
it's not just a song; it's a part of a
large piece of music, what he calls a cantata.
Yeah,
all about Faust. It's not just one song; it
tells a story.
I mean, imagine like an opera or something. You know, a musical telling of the whole story.
Right.
But while he's singing it, and while people are just walking back and forth, not one person is listening to him, except for Swan, who just he shuts Philbin up, and he's like, "Just listen, the music." And he's like, "What, that guy?" He's like, "No, the music." His voice, the music, and that's the song he wants to use. He's opening up a huge music club called the Paradise, and he's been searching for the perfect music to inaugurate it, to open it up, and this is the song he wants to use.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. This is what it clinches me right from this, man. I mean from the very beginning, but this just really gets me. And
that's just it too, man. If the songs don't get you, the movie kind of falls flat.
It's funny, Paul Williams was almost cast as, William Finley's part.
Yeah, William Finley almost didn't get a part in the movie.
Right.
Because they kept going back and forth. But
John Voight almost played Swan.
Peter Boyle was going to be
Beef. Yeah.
Character that'll pop up later. Right. Who later went to Garrett Graham, who you might know from Child's Play 2, I believe, and other things.
There you go.
But,
And on the subject of characters, Jessica Harper's character won out over Sissy Spacek tried? Carrie?
You know who she beat out for the role, though, don't you?
Linda Ronstadt.
Yep. They both tried out for it singing, and what a feather to put in your cap. I beat out Linda Ronstadt for a role. My singing was better than hers.
Well, it's all about style. Linda's
and her
a rocker.
Look. She's got that
look.
She's got that really.
I mean, this is a movie. This isn't the stage, Linda. So sorry.
Yeah.
But it's funny that Sissy Spacek was dating one of the workers on the set.
She was a set dresser on this movie.
She was dressing, and she wasn't very good at it.
But that's the story. She wasn't particularly good. But she'd later go on to be with Brian De Palma and Carrie. She'd do that.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Look at this. All these people walking by him. No one's... And it's a neat little 360, camera around him as he's singing the song. Yeah. So now he's in, what is this, a dressing room, a little cramped space, and...
I guess he found a room
Philbin
to go
greases
into,
up his body to get in there.
Oh!
Man, and as one fat man to another, I can say, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a small little room, like you would find in the New York clubs of the 70s and stuff like that.
Like it doesn't look like looks like there's glass there, and he just put newspaper over the whole thing.
Right.
And he's telling him, "Hey, Swan really likes your song, man. Give me a couple of the upbeat numbers, and I think we might produce your record."
You notice they're both wearing the same type of shirts.
Let me
see. William Finley's got a sweater on. It's got kind of a black outlined character, and so does what's his face there. I don't know.
I didn't notice.
There's a ton of things in this movie, little hidden Easter eggs, things that you wouldn't think of, like later on when Harper's, what is that? There's a magazine on the thing.
With her name on it.
So there's all kinds of little things like that. But look at their shirts.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Well, if he lowers his thing, you would see it.
Right.
Like, see it right there, the cartoon, like, kind of drawing. See?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's by the same people.
Yeah, you could tell that's drawn by the same person. It looks very similar.
So they didn't think about that while they were filming the movie, They're like, So, unless they went to the same store and got the same shirts.
Could be. Maybe they both went to Zayre's or Gold Circle and got that.
So what's he telling?
Well, he says, "Hey, when the Juicy Fruits perform this, it's gonna, you're gonna be famous."
Winslow Leach
flips out
Yeah.
And he pushes Phil, but you think those grease bums are going to perform my music?
The juicy fruits.
And, he's very protective over this
The juju
large
fruits.
piece of music. But at the same time, he's certainly feeling the temptation. Swan is interested in my music.
Mm-hmm.
And, so he gives him the cantata to give to Swan. And they said, we'll get back to you. And then it says, 1 month later, Death Records. And this is the...
what a rat bastard.
Geez, and I want to point something out about the building itself.
Yeah.
You'll know, look how he's got a duck to get in the door.
Yeah.
This is because Paul Williams, in real life, is a short guy.
Yeah.
And, of course, in the movie, he is too. So everything around him, the building, it's built to his proportions.
Yeah.
Not everybody else. See, Paul Williams could fit right under there. But not everybody else can. So it's all built to him. You'll see, like, when the next door opens.
Yeah.
He can't get through.
That's
so
funny.
Winslow goes up to this pretty hot secretary here.
Oh,
And look at all these famous names on here. Alice Cooper, Dick Clark, Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
And then there's Winslow Leach, and it says, never to be seen. Because he wants to know what's going on with my music. They throw him right out.
Right. Can you imagine taking his work of art and just saying goodbye? Never to be seen again.
And unfortunately, I bet this sort of thing happens all the time.
Oh yeah. And I love how, like, he was hovering. It turns to nighttime,
right?
And Winslow Leach is kind of hovering above the doorway on this kind of.
When they see Swan's car leave, like the limo or whatever, leave.
Really cool scenes.
Or
really
what is
cool
it? It's a Rolls.
Rolls
It's
Royce.
a Rolls.
Yeah.
It says, follow that car. This is actually one of the entrances into Central Park, but they make it look like it's the gate to a house.
Yeah. How interesting. Very good clue.
Thank you. Thank you. And, there's all these Hell's Angels sort of looking guys that are there. They don't notice him hopping over the fence.
Oh, yeah. He just snuck by like a phantom.
And then there's this little ditty that plays her. Never thought I'd meet the devil.
Oh, yeah.
It's not on the damn soundtrack, though. It sucks.
That's the one that's not on the soundtrack.
It's not
that's
on.
Right, yeah.
Paul Williams said it's just a little ditty that he wanted to put in there. He thought about making it a longer song. It just never really worked out. So it's just that little ditty that's right there. It's like 30 seconds, whatever. But I wish it was on the soundtrack. And there's not like a expanded version or anything that has that. I'd like to have that with the score and everything.
It's fantastic, man.
I really wish. I mean, there's a for people that collect vinyl, there was like a limited edition like pink vinyl, which would kind of like with the font on the cover.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Awesome.
Okay, not bad.
Well, he's going to his estate,
yes.
To find out what's going on, So as he enters the doorway...
Yeah, they wouldn't see him at the office, so he's going to go see him at his damn house.
And there's like
all
1,000
girls.
chicks singing and performing.
His music. Singing his music, Faust.
Yes.
And he notices one girl in particular. Because they're all singing it different. None of them know exactly how to sing it, so they're all singing it their interpretation.
So sweet.
But Jessica Harper's character, whose name is Phoenix... What a great name for a girl.
I know.
And he notices her singing
as Swan says later, we don't even need to change your name.
Yeah, absolutely. He hears her singing it, and above everyone else, she's the one who gets it.
Yeah.
She gets how it's supposed to sound.
Right.
So he starts singing it with her, and, saying like, you're really good, and
well, all the girls around are like kind of going, who are you?
Yeah, she even says that, hey, who are you? And
he's like,
he whispers in her, I wrote it.
Yeah,
like, but your name's not on it. And he doesn't get that. He's like, what? Well, it must be some sort of oversight.
Yeah.
We'll go figure this out.
Yeah. He's very naive, kind of.
Naive is the word.
Yeah, and
what
very not
goofy
Gibb,
looking. Look
but,
at him. I love the glasses and the hair.
What Gibb does he look like? Robin Gibb.
Oh man, I don't know my Gibb brothers very well. I know the songs, but I don't know. Nobody gets too much heaven no more. Oh well, I could have been a Gibb brother.
You could have been, yeah.
Damn.
You got a nice
All I gotta do is cut my bowls off.
You gotta hold on to my
Bee
balls.
Gees had some songs, man. You can't deny.
And who they like wrote for too. I mean,
this is
it
true.
Spans decades to this day. I mean, I think they wrote some songs for Green Day even.
Probably.
Through the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like those guys could write a song.
And Nirvana.
They write songs for Nirvana.
He's got these big Coke bottle glasses too.
He does. Oh, look at those doe eyes, man.
Yeah, Jessica Harper.
And she even says to him, hey, how about you help me out here? She's like, I don't care what part I get to sing this music. She's like, I just want to sing it. She's like, because he thinks he's going to go talk to Swan. She's like, how about you put in a good word for me? And, yeah, I guess she's just you. But he sees it in her. She gets the music.
Yeah.
Some people just get it. So, yeah, they have
if it's up to him, she's got the part.
Right.
And when he grasped her right here, and you see that rare view.
Yep.
But no, he holds her, real tight. And,
man. Instant friends, man. Instant.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Oh, I like that. Look at that. Look at these are all beautiful girls. Look at them. They should all be in the show.
It's almost like love at first sight. Almost like, you know what? We could throw in Hunchback of Notre Dame in here too.
Wow, never heard that one. But Hunchback of Notre Dame and Phantom of the Opera, not all that dissimilar, I guess.
No, yeah, kind of. Because later on, the whole opera, say, you know what I'm talking about when we get.
Winslow tries to get up the stairs. He tells Phoenix, "Hey, who is this? Your boyfriend here? He ain't coming up here." And he tries to tell him, "I'm the one who wrote the music. I want to go see him." Yeah, you make an appointment like everybody else.
Oh my God!
Now look, see, here's it is again. When the door opens up, they have to duck.
What the?
And look, okay, Philbin just got off one chick.
They made the set like that.
They're gonna get her off. Well, it's his ego. His world. So everything's proportioned to him.
Yeah.
And look at that.
Because even he said, go ahead.
She puts up with about 2 seconds of Philbin being on top of her.
And says, I ain't doing that.
Well, she says, I don't want to get it this way. I don't want to be in the show this way.
Yeah.
Hey, did you tell him about me? Uh-oh.
Yeah, his ego, like you were saying, you find out later, too. I mean, even when it comes to the musical.
Yep.
He doesn't want Phoenix to really be the lead singer.
No.
Because he wants nobody to outshine him. Mm-hmm. So...
And there's a couple of instances of the ego of Swan later on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so they're going to throw Leech out.
Yeah.
And
don't say the word.
He even makes a comment. Do you know where there's a good department store?
Yeah.
And
there's a giant bed.
Don't say the word.
You know what I'm talking about.
Don't say the word. So now we see all these hot
chicks. We'll be land-basted.
What else is new?
But yeah, there's this giant round bed. It's like a water bed. It is a water bed.
Is it? Yeah, it's wobbly.
Yeah, they're wobbly.
Remember water beds?
Oh my God. I don't know how you could sleep on those, but anyway. But anyways, all the girls are in the bed, and there's a camera looking down at them.
Yeah, because Swan likes to watch, man. He likes to watch these girls get it on.
And the one girl's really trying to get most of them, hey.
She's like, here, I like you, I like you, I like you.
But you can tell that there's one there that,
well, we're just not seeing her face.
Is out of place.
3 of these
and
things.
It ends up being Winslow Leach.
Yep, dressed as a woman. He somehow snuck back in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how he got in there.
Look how Swan comes out. The door opens, mist.
Yeah.
And here he comes. And they're all like, Swan,
the ego.
Swan.
Look at him.
And there's the great Paul Williams.
Looking at Paul Williams right there.
The way he'll always look to me.
Exactly. Always.
No matter how he ages, what he looks like today.
It looks just like the Planet of the Apes, too. Even right there, he looks like a orangutan, a skinny one.
Oh, God.
A skinny one. But, yeah, he sees...
And Winslow's like, Swan, it's me, Winslow Leach. I gave you my cantata.
And he goes, get that bag out of here.
Yeah. Get that gaff out of here.
Yeah, not going to say the word, but he says, get that bag out of... You know what I mean?
Well, So, look at him. He's a telephone.
I love the outfit he's got on. It's kind of cool.
I mean, for
74...
Yeah, or 72 when it was made.
Yeah, so he throws them outside. Asks the girls for the phone.
Yeah.
To call up the police.
He's calling these police to tell them hey, there's a guy that just got his ass whooped outside my house. Go plant some drugs on him and bust him.
Yeah.
Because basically, Swan stole his music. I don't want to hear another word out of this guy.
Right.
And look at these, look at these jive turkeys, man. They plant some smack on him.
Yeah, he's laying down. I mean, he's all beat up, swollen eye.
He's messed up.
He's in drag.
I know.
They take his purse, and that's where they drop the drugs.
It's not really like any different than in things today, though.
Yeah, true.
There's always guys running around in dresses.
Nothing's
changed. He just literally just pulls it out from behind him. Well, looky what we got here. Looky here.
Yeah, that's so funny.
A bag of smack. You know how long you can get, boy?
Oh, my God.
And what does he say? Life. Yeah, I was frightened. This is classic. I can't think of what other kind of movie does that.
This reminds me of like a Woody Allen movie, Take the Money and Run, right here. The
Maybe.
sequence, because they jumped right from that to it's Sing
Sing
Sing,
Sing.
and the kind of music they were playing right there was just a little comical. You know what I mean?
Oh, here's the warden. I forgot. I was trying to see his name. I couldn't see his name.
Oh.
I thought it was gross, something gross.
Oh, but this is the section of the jail that is funded by Swan. It's the Dental Institute or something like that.
Well, yeah, the Dental Institute. They're going to experimentation, and they are going.
The germs, the teeth are the
source of infection.
Yeah,
and that's a line that goes back to like his very first original draft. That's something that he kept. That as you know, a script will change.
Yeah.
But he's like, when there's Winslow, he's just like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't want my teeth pulled. He's like, oh, you're innocent. Who else here is innocent? Raise your hand. I think that looks like one of the cops, but they all got their.
It could be.
And this is actually 6 months later, man. He's in jail.
Yep. And
look at this. What game are they putting together there? It looks like they're putting some little toy game together. Is it Tiddlywinks or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine doing that all day. Yeah, it is
Tiddlywinks.
There you go.
What the heck?
I don't know what Tiddlywinks is, but that's
subliminal.
What it looks like.
You remembered seeing it, but yeah, Winslow Leach.
Now he's got these silver teeth, and why is he in a different? Oh, maybe because he's one of those experimental ones. It says Swan Foundation.
Yeah.
And what's playing on the radio is a new song by the Juicy Fruits, and it's his music. It's bastardized. It's not what it was. And Winslow goes shit show.
Freaks out, and how he gets out of Sing Sing
is fantastic.
It's beyond me.
No one stops him. He jumps in a toy box, Pressman toys.
A giant box.
Yeah, gets on a truck and drops right off the back. Yeah. And he's out. He's free. That's almost a little bit silent movie-ish.
Right.
Or maybe even, that's almost goofy Woody Allen days kind of movie. You're right.
Yeah.
He goes immediately back to Swan Records. See, ducking through the doors. Look at that.
Oh,
exactly
and
what I was saying.
It's the camera chasing him along the whole way through.
Yeah, some of it's really gonzo kind of cameras, just
and he's monstrous
handheld.
Right now. I mean, he's
knocking all the gold records off the wall. There goes plexiglass.
He's knocking everybody.
Look, they had
out.
to block that where it says Swan Song. They had to block that after the suit. They had to take care of that stuff. Yeah, some things are just matted in.
Yeah. There were 4 different lawsuits, but
four different lawsuits. I mean, we could start talking about them here. I mean, Winslow's at Death Records, and he's looking just to destroy every copy of that Juicy Fruit single.
And he's really in a record.
It's a toy factory, actually.
I thought I read where it's an actual
no, this was
factory where like that right there presses vinyls.
They made it look like that, but actually what it is, Edward Pressman, who was one of the producers of the film, his family owned a toy factory. Okay. And so they filmed this part in the actual toy factory. This is an actual press. I see they use that foam rubber there.
Yeah.
But when this scene was actually being filmed, that foam rubber didn't hold up, and if he hadn't pulled his head out, it actually he would have gotten injured.
Ooh, no way.
Yeah, and they had to do it twice. But you could see the foam giving way a little bit.
Yeah, see,
but they made it look like a record press, which I think is so interesting that not only does he hate what they've done to his music, now the image of the actual single, the vinyl song that's bastardized his music, is burned into his flesh.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so cool. It's really creative.
It is. And he runs out of there and falls into the river.
Crawls to the river, which is like what the Phantom in like 1943 or even the Hammer version would have done.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing in the Hammer version. It was like,
Fruits Preem. I was reading
Mad Toonsmith bites bullet. Body was not recovered.
No, he fell in the river and they never found him. Yes. So Winslow Leach never found.
So we were talking about lawsuits. So the movie got filmed. It was originally called The Phantom. Well, King Features owns the character, the Phantom, the one that Billy Zane played in the movie. Oh, here's a little...
The comic.
Yeah, the comic strip.
Yes.
And they did make a film of it, but...
Here's the Paradise Theater.
Oh, the Paradise Theater, now you can hear the Winslow's heavy breathing.
Yeah.
And he scares these guys.
Like Darth Vader with the...
Precisely. Oh, look at these guys get all freaked out.
Yeah, everybody's freaking out by the way he looks. But anyways, go ahead.
So they sued.
Yeah.
Then Universal threatened suit because Phantom of the Opera, they own the rights to that story. So there's, I mean, even when Hammer did theirs,
I don't know.
Even when Hammer did theirs, it was still distributed through Universal, so that's why they were allowed to do it.
Right.
And then it's all this point of view of Winslow staggering into the paradise. We'll catch you up in a moment. Let's see. Who else sued? Led Zeppelin sued because they had just started their own record label Swan Song Records.
Yeah.
But, again, the phrase Swan Song had existed long before Led Zeppelin named their record company that, their production company. And there was another lawsuit. Well, also, one of the characters in the film is electrocuted on stage.
Yeah.
Beef. We'll get to it when it happens. And that's actually something that actually happened to a guy. I can't remember the artist's name. And that guy's manager was so offended by the idea that this scene was going to be in a movie and played for comedy that he threatened suit as well. Now, I would bet the producers of this film
Brian De Palma. They're like
could probably have won all of these lawsuits.
Oh yeah.
But it would take money and it would take time. So they shelved the movie till the lawsuits went away, and they changed the titles and stuff.
Yeah.
So we see Winslow going up the stairs. He grabs sort of like an Edward Scissorhands looking leather outfit, and this really neat bird mask.
Oh yeah,
which will be his Phantom mask,
which is so iconic. I mean, there ain't nothing like it. And they quickly, Juicy Fruits are on stage performing, practicing for rehearsals for Faust.
And this is the Juicy Fruits as the Beach Bums.
Yes.
And this one's a total rip of 1960s Beach Boys surfer music.
Yeah.
And it's the same song that Winslow was singing.
But changed up in the style.
But they've changed it, and they've changed the lyrics, and they've bastardized it again to where it's talking about carburetors and upholstery. And they're doing this beach song, and it's totally changed from what it originally was. And we get that cool split screen effect that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That Orson Welles used in Touch of Evil, because the Phantom, he's got one of those homemade dynamite bombs.
Yeah.
And he's put it into this fake car.
A la Spy vs. Spy.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that costume does kind of look Spy vs. Spy. I haven't thought about Spy vs. Spy in so long.
Mad Magazine.
What a great cartoon show that was. Didn't Mad Magazine show used to have little cartoon bits of that?
Yeah, there was.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I used to have these really cool action figures of them. I wonder what happened to them.
God dang it.
I had them.
Man, see, that's why we were so dumb getting rid of a lot of our stuff. It was ridiculous.
We could redress the whole set.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, you got all the Juicy Fruits. Like, there's that funny guy you were talking about back up there.
Yeah.
And what's going on is the girls, they're getting pissy because they don't want to be in these bikinis all day. And there's this one guy, he's got these weird vibes, man. Something's going to happen. Yeah. So Philbin just gives him some drugs. He's like, get out there and sing.
And Philbin, that's his way for everything throughout this film.
Drugs. Swan, too, for that matter.
Yeah, you're right.
So they're up there, they're singing this bastardized song. Swan's way up high in the balcony watching in the shadows. And it won't take too long.
Love how both cameras are showing, like, the car going forward, and then the other camera angles like right on the side view. It's really cool.
Right. And this is even something that we do see the Phantom way up high, and then Swan Song and explosion.
Yep.
And that's cool. You get to see the explosion. You get to see the desired effect on the other person. And I think even Quentin Tarantino used this in Kill Bill. He did a little similar. I think he called it his Brian De Palma little shout out, but it actually goes back to Orson Welles.
Yeah. Right.
And here goes a guy. This is like backstage at the Paradise, and Swan's got a little secret room.
Yeah,
I like this, man. You gotta love rooms where you just turn the candlestick and the door opens.
And the door opens up, and you got your little lair.
Yeah, he goes in, the window closes, and the Phantom.
Yeah, the character here, Winslow Leach. I love his little studio here where he's got the tapes rolling.
All painted red, so hard on the eyes. And he records everything.
Yes. And there's a reason behind that, I guess, too. Later on we'll talk about.
When he comes out of the room, there's the Phantom.
But he went in there to see like who did this and stuff.
And he even though he can't tell, he's got a sneaky suspicion who it is.
Right.
Because as soon as the Phantom grabs him, he's like, "Oh, Winslow, nice to see you again." And he rips the mask off. He sees what's been done to him.
Well, that comes with his cocky attitude because he knows.
And he can't talk anymore either.
Yeah, he knows he's God, I mean, are we spoiling something if we say the ending? Kind of. I mean, you know,
He's got him over a barrel. Let's put it that way.
yeah.
And you know, he sees this pitiable character. He's like, you know, you need me, but you know, he realizes he can get more out of him.
Yeah.
You know, if he can get him on his side, he can get more great music out of him. And
he's like, let's start over.
Let's go into partnership together. We'll start over. We'll do it your way. Yeah. He's like, you don't believe me? Come to the auditions. Watch. You know, and you know, it's always that. Trust me. Me.
We'll make you sing again.
Look at like those lavender colored glasses. Mm-hmm. They match the shirt, the silk shirt.
He's so tiny though.
It's cool, man. That's Paul Williams' band right there. I know that. And yeah, like you said, they're auditioning girls, and they're singing a song. I can't remember what it's called. Special to Me.
Yeah. This is kind of cool. Swan's up in his.
Phoenix is there again,
and Winslow is next to him because they got to pick out the right girl. I'm going to refer to him
as the Phantom.
The Phantom is well, I'll say Winslow Leach. I love Winslow Leach. Mm-hmm. And he touches his hand as soon as Phoenix comes up. She's going to perform next.
Oh, there's that hot secretary again.
Yeah, and she's got a. Well, what does Swan tell her? Because you know this is about singing, and he says
Philbin. You mean Philbin?
Or Philbin? Yeah.
He says something like, because the other girl got to sing
Tums?
No.
Okay.
It's the soda pop.
Soda pop.
Well, she says to him, "Will I actually get to sing this time?" Because you remember last time she went to go audition, she was in for 2 seconds because Philbin was trying to crawl on top.
Right.
You know,
right.
And he doesn't even remember what she's talking about.
But I forget what Swan said. He mentioned something about, are you an actual singer?
No, Philbin says, he's like, "Oh, you're a singer, huh?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm a singer."
Okay.
And you know, she's going to prove it right here. Sing. Look at the cute little bell bottoms and that neat little fedora hat.
Right. Well, which she takes and throws off, but boom.
But she's cute, man. I like her.
Yeah, she is. I love this scene. You know, every song that they like just roll into.
Mm-hmm. And she's got a great voice. Just that sort of deepish kind of voice. I just think she's wonderful.
Oh, she's fantastic.
And my son, my 7-year-old son, he's watched the original Suspiria. I cover his eyes for 1 or 2 parts, but I swear to God, that kid loves that movie. I don't know if it's a mixture of the music and it's not too scary, but I think he's got I think he likes her.
You got a crush on her?
Because then I showed him, I was like, hey, look at the back of the movie. This is the movie that we're going to be talking about. And he's just like, that's Susie Banyan. He still remembers her name, Susie Banyan.
That's so funny.
And it's cute.
And we're talking to young kids, so,
Hey, I didn't watch Suspiria until I was able to rent the tape ages later. I would, but, my kids, they watch, cool stuff. So, but he hasn't seen this yet. We just haven't had an opportunity to sit together and watch it. So it'll be on the list.
But this song is just fantastic. I love it. She's great in this, man.
Working just to survive. Oh, now she's getting a little jig going.
Well,
here.
You got that 1974 kind of,
Yeah.
It's 1974.
It was like that soft rock Carpenters kind of, light rock that punk was so against.
Mm-hmm.
But here this. Well, that's what we got in this movie. And you either like it or you don't. And
exactly.
You can like both. You're allowed. But look, everybody's like realizing. Look at all the girls back there. They're all realizing, man, she's the best one for it.
Well, they're all dancing along. Yeah, they're like, this is cool, man.
Even Swan says to the Phantom, he's like, she's good, and he just nods, because he knows that this is who I want.
Oh yeah, they're already set, so all these other girls can just forget about it.
I like that shirt that she's wearing.
I like everything about her.
You know what? I really like when girls wear shirts that have dangly sleeves. Why do I like that? I don't know.
I have no idea.
My wife's got a couple shirts like that, and I was just like, I really like
What
that.
An odd thing to say. You just like the style,
I like that style, where it hangs down like the sleeve of a wizard, or
yeah, right. Look at her dance out of the scene.
That's right, man. See ya out the door.
The one dude keeps look at him.
What is he doing, man? He's playing pocket pool.
There's some. I don't know what. It looked like he was playing some pocket pool, man.
Isn't that so weird that Swan's always in the shadows? No one can see him, but he can see.
You know what? I'd be like that too.
Oh, we gotta love this part.
Something wrong with my head?
No.
No.
Oh. No. So now he's in the.
Looking at my head.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking. There's nothing there. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I was just. This is a real recording studio.
Yeah, I forget where in L.A. this is.
Bon Jovi.
Please tell me no, that's not real.
No,
I don't know. But yeah, you're right. This is and it's wall-to-wall switches.
Oh my God!
It's a giant Moog.
Isn't it funny that
Moog
you can
synthesizer? Recording room.
Isn't it funny that you can do all this on a little tablet?
Man.
No, and look at that whole.
If you could do it
room
that way, you'd rather do it. Look at all that electromagnetism in that room.
But look at what they went through. Yeah, I mean, it's like this gigantic balled room with like buttons and connectors where they unplug headphones, stick it in another.
How do you even know what all these things are?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so the Phantom is trying to sing his song and play the piano. And his voice, he's lost his voice, but Swan is figuring out a way to digitally bring it back to him. And you know, he's doing this and filters and Dolbys.
And he's saying names. Yeah, he's like Dolbys and presses the buttons.
Right. I don't know. But do you notice that when he does get it to where he wants, he says, you know, perfect, and it sounds just like Paul Williams' voice.
Oh, right.
So that's another little thing about the ego. Yeah, there's the little Darth Vader box. Don't think George Lucas didn't see that. But yeah, when he says perfect, it's because he sounds like Paul Williams now. He sounds like me.
Right.
And that's perfect.
Yeah.
So there you go. He'll be able to talk his first words. Phoenix. Phoenix.
And the eye through that bird-like mask is just it's tremendous, man. But he's got him in this little studio, and by God, he's gonna stay in there.
He's gonna get him tempted. He's gonna say, you know, let's, you know, finish your cantata, right? You know, because he wasn't done with it yet. Mm-hmm. Write it. You know, he even says, you know, imagine being in here, you know, for whatever, a week, whatever. He's like, man, it's just nothing but writing music and playing music, you know. And you know, and we'll get Phoenix. She'll sing it. You know, she will be, because he says she's my voice. You know, and she'll be your voice. I love that. Look at that. I just want to watch the movie. I'm sorry.
No.
Look at that eye. Look how
like
big
that
it
right
is.
there. Snapshot that scene. I mean, the look of his face and that. You know who he also reminds me of is what was the character's name on Buck Rogers, the Hawk guy?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
It's the same exact mask. They may have taken this mask and used it for that set. The character.
I think
he even had big hawk wings.
I remember that guy. I don't remember his name. I think wasn't he like a character on Family Guy or one of those cartoon shows or something like that? As a joke. But I know exactly. Yeah, his hair just looked like feathers, and yep, I know who you're talking about.
He had a mask.
Lame. You know, I used to love that show, and now it's like you try to watch it, it's terrible.
No, I know.
I mean, Mel Blanc did the voice of Twiggy, and
beep,
beep, beep, beep, beep. I used to have a little action figure of him. I remember beep, 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 beep.
Oh my God,
Buck Rogers.
So what's going on? He's
well, to be in business together, they have to sign a contract.
Yep.
And you know, he's like, "Go ahead, read it at your leisure." You know, and I mean, the contract is you know 18 inches thick.
And he's telling him what when he does come across
party of the
something,
first part, party of the second part.
What's that mean? And I like how he goes, well, this one's for your safety,
right?
Or
That's
whatever.
to protect you.
Yeah.
And
he gets ready to sign.
Well, he's like, yeah, you know, you better not double cross me. He's like, I wouldn't think of it. And just pokes his finger and says, you know, ink's not worth anything to me. And makes him sign it in blood.
The ink's red.
So's blood, man.
That's your chair squeaking. I thought there were mice running around the back of us.
It's your house.
Man.
I got the roaches, you got the mice.
Oh, I hope you don't got roaches.
You kidding me?
Didn't you get rid of those?
You think I would stay a minute in that house?
They were roaches. They were all in your cereal.
We're moving. I can't tolerate infestation.
Right? Peep show, peep show.
Oh, man. Yeah, see, look, they had to put something over Swan Song. You can see they put a little tape over it.
How stupid.
There he is watching videos again. Wonder what he's watching. Something that he has to watch every day. Oh, and he looks a little perturbed.
Wait, he's got to watch that every day?
Every day. Yeah, when we get to the part, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, this is probably my favorite part of the film. This is the Phantoms theme.
Yeah.
It's almost like a music video.
It is, yeah.
It would be a great kick-ass music video. I'm surprised they didn't do it in the 80s when they would do stuff like this.
The Phantom lights a red candle.
And he's writing his music.
Yeah.
And the Phantoms theme, it's the best song in the whole. They're all great, but I love Phantoms theme.
Yes. Same here.
Wish we could turn the volume up and listen to it. Oh, oh man, look, there's Jessica.
Right, it's almost like a music video. They keep cutting. They cut the sequences with like Jessica Harper. There's
a little segue in the middle there, but yeah, it is like a music video.
And there's like an album clock. It's like and they show the days go by, the candle burning.
So he's got to finish the cantata because this is what they're going to open the paradise with. They're going to perform his cantata.
Isn't that a Mexican meal?
With beans, tostada?
With beans and a cantata. Because I asked for that last time we went up to that Mexican restaurant.
I love that Mexican restaurant.
I said, I'll have a cantata with extra sour cream.
Tasty, Winslow. Tasty. Oh, Paul Williams said he had just gotten new caps placed on his teeth. So they had to show him off, so he smiles a lot.
Oh, really?
Yep. Boy, he's got, and there's a little bit of like Edgar Allan Poe here, the cask of Amontillado, being walled in.
Right.
That's a little bit of that in here too.
There's a lot in this.
Look at this cool desk for Death Records. It looks like a gold record, and Swan's sitting in the middle where the little, like record adapter would go.
Yep. With his phone and.
So this is where he's trying to say, he's going to double cross him. He's like, nah, Phoenix isn't doing this. I got to find something new. We need a new sound.
And all these singers kind of start popping up, and the light
different
hits them.
Styles.
Yeah.
Here's a guy doing it in like a country style.
I like.
And they're all singing that original Faust song.
Right. I like how Swan goes, cute,
but no.
Because Paul Williams he wasn't country. It was more 70s popular music.
I guess,
a little bit of country, I think, was in there.
Pop music. I
don't know.
He was just born and bred on 50s and 60s rock and roll. Beatles, and then Beach Boys, doo-wop, stuff like that. That's where his.
Then all of a sudden, Beef shows up.
The hard rock guitar.
Bud the Chud. From Chud 2.
Oh, yeah, we forgot Bud the Chud. And
Beef is Bud the Chud from
Garrett Graham, who still gets, recognition for this particular film. And here's a little bit more of the Phantoms theme again.
He's been in a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, and what's kind of funny is this film did bomb. Didn't do very well in the States at all.
Of course.
But in French-speaking territories, like in Canada and Paris, it was huge. Yeah. And you wonder why. Like, what is it that they got? Because this film
beginning with the Juicy Fruits, when he went into that song, ooh, and he started talking French. Like
I thought it was more like Italian, Brooklyn.
That sounded French to me.
That sounded Italian to me. It needed an opera. It sounded more like Brooklyn Italian to
me. What do you mean?
Look at that. I love the really like hazy camera work here. It gives it that little soft.
Who Brian De Palma tried to get, but didn't have enough money for it? Who were the groups that he tried to get?
Oh, he would have loved to have had, members of the Rolling Stones.
I think that was the one. Yeah,
but
they just were too expensive to get
asking for a ton of money.
Yeah.
Stones. That's
But he did inquire. He did try to get them.
Those were his ideas at first.
Yeah.
Even Alice Cooper. Wanted Alice Cooper, which will come up later on when we get to that part. So now, Swan was getting ready to open up his Paradise Club. He's going to introduce his new band, the Juicy Fruits, Thing of the Past.
Yep.
This is the future.
Mm-hmm. Like how he comes out with his...
almost looks like a caretaker.
Yeah,
an mortician, that's what I want to say.
Tall mortician's hat and gigantic Victorian white silk.
Now, this originally said Swan Song on here, and they had to add a mat to that podium. And if you look real carefully, you don't notice it a lot. But it does waver a little.
Okay.
All right. And it's because they had to mat that in. because they had to remove that so the picture could come out.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted to hurry
I love
up.
Led Zeppelin, but, you know.
They were on a budget and time constraint, so they had to just say, you know what, we'll just go with it. Let's just cover it up.
And he says, let me introduce Beef. This is Beef and the, what is it, the Undeads.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Beef is pretty much in a coffin.
In a coffin.
Yeah, which is, you know.
And look at that weird body armor he's wearing.
He makes a really weird, funny face. It's like,
almost like he's scared. Yeah.
But it looks comical.
But then when he talks, he's got such a girly voice. It's kind of funny.
Oh, this is not going to work.
Oh, there's those pearlies. You know, with the big smile.
I'm sorry, but I cannot work with these kind of situations.
Breakfast? Look, he's...
He opens up a pill and the bottles are actually...
This is Swan's personal drug stash, man.
They're glued
He's
to
giving him all kinds of uppers, downers.
Inner case,
not uppers
man.
and downers. Yeah, he's got that.
Well...
And he's like, you know, is it done? He's like, it'll be done on time. Good. And, you know, Swan takes a little bit at a time. Yeah. It'll be done on time. Mm-hmm. God, look at them choppers, man. Beautiful pearlies.
Say so.
I guess.
Unbelievable glasses too, man. That's his.
That's his look.
Yeah.
You know, and that will always be. You know, like how there's different versions of Elvis.
Right.
You know, to me, Elvis will always be, in that black jumpsuit.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the Elvis that I envision when I think Elvis.
Right.
And you know, and the Beatles, you know, they had iterations too. You know, you think of them back in the early days with the suits and the mop tops.
Oh, they look so different in such a short
amount
period
of time.
Going from those, you know, Hard Day's Night guys with the little, you know,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
haircuts to hippies.
You know,
not long. Yeah, it's
ambassadors of a generation. That's what they were.
Oh my God, yeah.
And if you don't dig the Beatles, you just have no soul, man.
Not sure anybody touches the Beatles, but anyways.
Don't. So he's rehearsing the song.
Well,
Phoenix has been relegated to a background singer.
Right. As Swan left the room this time, though, he pointed to the people to get the bricks ready.
So you know what's coming.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of the little Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. But
look how and he's a terrible singer.
Oh yeah, he's again, yeah.
Well, actually, he can sing. It's just he's singing it terribly. But that's
I
how
think they went for the character, and he starts.
I love when he does that little gyration. He can't get up with those platform boots or those shoes he's got on.
They're like hard and slippery, and he can't get up. But Swan goes because he goes, I can't sing these songs. I'm not.
You need a castrata to sing these. This was scored for a chick.
Yeah. And Swan tells him, make it your own. Make it your own.
Make it your own. Do your own thing. And he's like, yeah, you better believe I will.
Well, because Swan tells him, you could sing better than any of these pitches.
Oh, know? That's right. You could sing, but you bet your ass I can.
Yeah.
He has this little kind of interesting conversation with Philbin that probably kind of rings true today. You know, how he's talking about, hey, how am I supposed to sing this stuff? He's like, who cares how you sing it? Nobody hears it. You know, nobody listens to words anyway.
They're just here for the party.
You know, and that's kind of how I feel about music today, since a lot of it's just throwaway. You know, you're listening to a beat or a manufactured, you know, even with rock music, you know, it's done in Pro Tools, and you can't even tell the difference almost between, you know, is it live or is it Memorex? And
Right.
Ooh, look, he's finished the cantata.
Yeah, it goes back one
Pills
last time.
everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I guess he was just trying to get something. I don't know. He knocked everything over, but this is the time that he is going to be bricked in.
Look at the doorknob. It's a swan. I didn't notice that before.
The doorknob was?
Yeah, the doorknob looked like in the shape of a swan. And then he's just seal it up. There we go.
You imagine all these people too. You know, they're all involved. They're just going, okay, we listen to what you say, Swan.
Yeah, we do what Swan says.
They know it's a monster in there. I mean, the dude's just.
I guess.
And he wakes up. You know, that room too. I mean,
there's not even a place to use a toilet.
What
are these guys doing?
I don't finger wrestling.
I don't know.
But after watching this film, do you ever forget this room where he's at? That recording.
No. And it almost, I think the room is that shape, but it almost looks bubblish.
Yeah, like kind of
curved
like
along the wall. I wonder if that's actually how it is.
Probably for sound's sake, maybe. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No.
When the Phantom awakes and opens the door and realizes he's been duped and he's, been bricked in, he screams. And Beef is back there putting on some makeup and he's got rollers in his hair like your mom does. and he opens the door. He's like, what the hell was that?
This place is haunted.
I love it. I'm like, what the hell was that?
This place is motherfucking haunted.
And yeah, look how he's dressed. Oh man.
The cool
Phantom bursts out.
Yep.
Breaks through the bricks, breaks through this steel door, presumably, and through those guys.
Well, it's like, where did he get the power?
Man, he's got rage on his side.
In the meantime, Beef is sitting at his
doing some coke.
Dressing room.
When they do coke, they always have that little thing there. Where do you buy that little thing? To snort the coke up.
Comes with the paraphernalia.
Does it come with the pack? I mean, when you buy it at the store,
I don't know. I mean,
you get the little dish and you need that little thing.
Wherever you get the little dish, you would
where
probably
do you
get that.
Someone who snorts coke, leave a message in the comments.
Where
do you get one of those little
things?
Why
do you want one?
I don't know. Because I see like 3 people using them in the movie. Like,
come over to Ted's house.
They've all got one.
A month from now, he's collecting different versions. Yeah. This one's from the 17th century.
Yeah, look at this one here.
The Chinese used to use this
the tiny little Coke spoon.
Oh my god.
Why did he get his makeup on his face and then he takes a shower?
I thought he was getting ready for the show, so I don't know what's of this.
Here's our little Psycho scene.
Yeah. Another one, yeah.
But in to destroy the cliche of Psycho, it's not with a knife, it's with a toilet plunger.
Well, he's holding a knife, though.
Yeah, okay, he slits the curtain. But then it's the plunger in the face, and he tells him, no one sings my music. Only Phoenix sings my music. Anyone else who does it dies.
Yeah. And this freaks Beef out.
You gonna tell me Marilyn Manson didn't watch this movie before he came up with his look, with his little metal teeth and eyes and all that? You gonna tell me Marilyn Manson didn't watch this movie?
Probably.
Ad nauseum, probably.
A movie that not a lot of people know about, but has influenced so many.
I mean, yeah, you take people like Guillermo del Toro is a huge fan of this movie. And I know a lot of people...
It's Nicolas Cage's favorite, too.
Yeah, his favorite Brian De Palma film.
Yeah, Brian De Palma film. Not favorite film, but Brian.
I think, I think cool people dig this movie.
Yeah, like me.
Like me.
Yeah.
And I don't just dig. I mean, I love this movie. I mean, like how I keep all my favorite movies on the phone. Phantom of the Paradise is one of them I keep on there.
Hell, I mean, you could just hit play, not watch the movie, and just listen to what's going on.
I was listening to the soundtrack at work, and it's not... I didn't just listen to it today because we're doing the show. I listen to it at work sometimes. I have a little Paul Williams playlist, and I just incorporate those songs in my Paul Williams playlist.
Right.
But look, so...
Beef is trying
Philbin's checking out the line, making sure people got tickets. And
this is the ticket line.
And like where you saying Beef is on his way out?
Yeah, he's looking like Santa Claus. He's got his robe on. Because he's just hitting the street.
Yeah, he says, where are you going? He's like, and he's coming down the stairs with his guitar cases. Where are you going? Cincinnati.
He tells him, he goes, in case you haven't noticed, something's wrong in this place. It's haunted.
Well, yeah, he tells him, can't you feel it? Something's not right. And he even says, I've been in this business a long time. If I don't want to do a show, I don't do a show. Mm-hmm. And if I don't do a show, it's because someone's threatening to kill me if I do it.
Oh, and he threatens them, and
with the plunger in the face. Hopefully, it wasn't a used plunger.
No, Philbin. I mean, most of this film, he was the cocky one, Beef, telling Philbin off. But this time, Philbin's just like telling him off, going, "You are doing it," and he just like offers him an upper or something, and he goes, "I don't need that."
Every time we see Beef, he's got a new symbol painted on his face.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yes. Now the show is starting. Yes. Faust. And this is Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Dr. Caligari, yeah.
A little bit of flavor there.
Yep.
This is where they wanted the Alice Cooper group.
Up. Yeah.
They really wanted to get the Alice Cooper group here. They couldn't afford him, though. But for that shock rock, But I think it would have distracted. This is actually Paul Williams' band. He said they never get an opportunity to cut loose like this and play some good heavy rock.
Right.
And they just loved the opportunity to be able to do it.
I bet they were having fun, man. But yeah, this is a throwback to the silent era films.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And there's going to be a huge Frankenstein influence here because
Yep.
these interesting characters come out, and first thing everybody will think when you watch this that you'll think Kiss.
Yeah.
All right, and yes, in 1972, Kiss was around.
Yeah.
But when this film was released in 1974,
Right.
Kiss hadn't really made it big yet.
Right.
They struck big the next year in 75.
Well, and you got to think that this was filmed too in 1972,
Right.
71, 72.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is in 75, their live album came out. And as unreal as it is for a live album to be your huge breakthrough record,
Yeah.
that was their huge, that's what saved Kiss and gave Kiss the opportunity to become what they became.
Right.
And you can bet your bottom dollar if Kiss had been huge when this movie came out, I'm sure Gene Simmons would have sued.
Oh yeah, they would have had another lawsuit on it.
They would have had another
Gene,
lawsuit,
especially Gene Simmons. But
as
yeah,
much as I love Kiss, you know, and what they're doing here is interesting. They're singing this song, "We Need a Perfect Man," and they're
a la Rocky Horror Picture Show. But go ahead.
it's staged where they're
And it even sounds like Rocky Horror
bit.
in this part of the
It's
movie.
a really eerie kind of song, and they're cutting off. It's staged, but they're cutting off body parts from the audience members and giving them to these girls. One of them is Jessica Harper back there, Phoenix. See, they just cut the legs off a guy there.
Because they're building
The
their
crowd's going nuts. They're
Frankenstein
screaming.
monster.
So yeah, see, he'll give her the legs, and they go there and look. They all look like nurses, and they're all sewing. And what they're doing is they're putting together beef, and so they're creating Frankenstein, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I just
And this was the main part that kind of felt familiar to... That dude almost looked like the dude from Night of the Creeps. Is that him?
thrill me. No, I don't think it's.
You know who I'm talking
Tom
about, right?
Atkins.
Yeah, Tom Atkins.
I don't think it's him.
Didn't it look like him?
With the blonde hair and the blonde mustache, yeah, I think so. It did, but it's not.
Okay.
It was actually a friend of in the movie. It was one of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Boy, they do look like Kiss in some ways.
No,
oh, look at see, yeah, they're sewing all the body parts together there, and
You
it's
think
just really
Kiss
cool.
saw this and said, "Hey, let's put some"?
No,
makeup
Kiss was
on."
already around.
With the makeup.
Yeah. Oh, totally with the makeup.
Okay.
Yeah. They just hadn't, they just hadn't gotten big yet. The huge sensation that they would become. Like 75, 76, they couldn't be stopped.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there they go. They cut the head off. That's going to be Beef's head.
Mm.
Oh, look at that. And the weird thing. Oh, and the crowd's going nuts. They're eating it up, man.
Oh, it's a show, man.
There we go.
It's
Tossing
a
the head around.
wild show.
Look, they're just tossing the head around. Hey, heads up!
I know.
And again, this is another version of the Faust song, but it has been almost completely altered.
Yeah.
It's been turned into a theatrical shock rock kind of thing, which was sort of becoming the glam thing in the 70s. This is Alice Cooper being around. He was the leader of that.
Love those girls back there, like putting together and sewing.
And then there's
so
the
cool.
platform, the Dr. Frankenstein.
Almost looked like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like
a little
Sally.
bit. The platform is going to be raised up so it can be struck by electricity, and then we will get Beef. Oh, I just want to watch it, man. It's just so cool.
No, yeah, the lightning's
There's
going.
the lightning.
You see the lightning bolt, which
Doctor Who special effects there, and
which will come in Doctor Who special effects.
oh look, we see the Phantom rising up on a I don't know, something for the curtain. As the curtain goes up, he goes up.
Yeah.
Oh, and there he is, Beef.
And he's all
Laugh
glammed
at
up.
last.
Yeah.
Sings his little song. Look, he's even walking like the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, he's cut. They got cut marks through the waist, his blood around the wrist,
and
shoulders.
these are. I don't know if this is makeup or whatever, but yeah, it looks like where his arms have been sewed on. And, and then we're getting
And Winslow or the Phantom is creeping his way across.
He's going like hand over hand on the curtains there. I like that, man. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, he's gonna take care of Beef in a little bit.
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh yeah, It's just when you really have the time to look, around the neck, around the abdomen, the arms, the legs, it's all over the place.
He takes a body.
Yeah, it looks like they've got like dolls just like stationed in certain places. Look at him. I tell you,
He's strutting.
You wonder about the guy. You just wonder.
Well, he doesn't talk like that in real life. and prance around the stage like that.
How do I know? I'm not his damn biographer. Look at him doing a chicken walk. What is this? Oh, for sure.
He played the part good.
A little too good, I think.
Faust. Faust is just, man, Faust. The Phantom is just, he's hiding around everywhere. Oh, and here we go.
Oh, he's got his guitar, man. He's humping the guitar. That's how you do the guitar.
Well, the Phantom creeped on over to that electric lightning
almost looks
bolt.
like a neon light, electrical.
Yeah. And he's just up there. He's just pissed.
He's waiting.
That, you know.
Oh, there's Jessica Harper again in one of those colored wigs.
Is that her?
She's one of the. There's 3 of them up there. She's one of them.
But yeah, here he is. He's like holding it like Zeus. And just
like Zeus.
Yes, and it goes in.
And look, he's like, wow! Yeah. And see, everyone else thinks it's part of the show.
Right?
You know, the whole thing, the fact that he dies, everything, they just think it's rock and roll, man. It's rock art.
The one Kiss singer just falls to the ground. Yeah. Oh, and Swan is up there. They show him in the light.
But that almost gives them the idea, like, oh my God, man, just, death on stage. You know, what's more entertaining than that?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God,
the
yeah.
Fantasy. He realizes, man, shit's hit the fan. But everyone's eating it up. They think it's the show. They love it. And he's watching. See, here's the change. At first he was a little horrified, but now he's, Swan is looking out at the crowd. You know, he's seeing how much.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
He's seeing how much they love it.
Oh, look at that scene with the Phantom
crawling across the top,
way up at top of this. I'd love to know the location of where they did this. Some kind of old theater.
I think it was in Texas. They filmed a lot of things in Texas.
Because that's where Paul Williams is. See, country. Yeah.
I mean, just it's just where it was cheaper, where they could find
country.
A little bit in New York, a little bit in
L.A.,
LA,
bit rock and roll.
A little bit, but quite a bit in Texas.
And they start hollering Phoenix for some reason.
Well, they get I don't know if they were hollering Phoenix, but they get her out there. She's going to sing the number.
I could have sworn they were hollering Phoenix, but I could be wrong.
I don't think yet, because they don't know who she is yet.
But yeah,
they kind of just push her out there. Let's, and she sings Old Souls, which is...
Whew, another great song, man.
What did I text you today? I was like, this should be a song that people use for like their wedding song.
Yeah.
Our love is an old love. And,
Our love is an old love.
And he's, it's even the Phantom who puts the spotlight on her.
Yeah.
And, again, she gets it. She sings it the way that this is the only time that his music is being presented the way that he wants it presented.
And everybody is silent and just watching.
And then this goes on for a couple minutes, and you get the whole song there, and just stunning. I
love the theater, man. The lights, the old lights. That's like from the 1920s and stuff like that.
Just there's nothing about this movie I don't like, and I could get maybe why some people. It's like I love it, so I'm biased. But I can get why some people may not love. I mean, it's a juggling of genres. It can't decide what it wants to be.
I can't understand why anybody would hate it if they've seen it.
Well, I mean, look at the swill people watch.
Well, I mean, I guess
look at the swill that people like. Like it's 1974. It's too old. I'm not whatever. You go watch your pansy.
Oh, here's the part that. According to William Finley, the record press in which his character Winslow Leach was disfigured was in a real pressing plant. See, that's why I thought maybe...
Yeah, just keep reading.
It was an injection molding press at... Oh, you're right. At the Ideal Toy Company. Ideal. Those toys go for a lot of money, man.
One of the producers, his family owned that.
Really?
Yes.
Well, he's a rich guy, man, because...
Probably.
He was a toy tycoon. He was worried about whether the machine would be safe, and the crew assured him it was.
Yeah.
The press was fitted with foam pads.
Which we saw.
Which resemble the casting molds in the press. And there were chocks put in the center to stop it from closing completely.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the machine was powerful enough to crush the chocks that it gradually kept closing. It was Finley's speed and timing that saved him from being seriously hurt as he got his head out just in time. His scream in the scene was in fact not acting. Whoa.
And then they made him do it again.
No!
He had to do it twice.
I would go, there you go. You
take that.
Yeah,
so Phoenix has finished her song, and the crowd is nuts. They love her. And, Swan sees this too. I mean, we can make her a star. but he's got other machinations in mind.
And they do the that's old school 1920s, 1930s too, where the camera just closes in on the face.
Yep, just like an old Laurel and Hardy film or something like that.
A lot of the films back in the day.
Oh, to my new star, Love Swan.
Yes, she's in her dressing room after
and
the
now
performance.
she can hear the people. Phoenix. Yeah, there's the Harper thing you were talking about up there. That magazine has her name on it.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it said, but yeah.
And this is where he tells her, like you said, you're going to be a big star, and cool things we don't even have to change your name. I like it.
Perfect name.
It's perfect.
Is that mouthwash right there? It's a good thing to have in a dressing room, I guess.
Yeah, you probably have to. Yeah, because they only had green scope when we were kids. They have all different kind of flavors of scope. You only had green.
Oh, and she's telling him here that he just wants her to sing, and she's like, "Is that all you want?"
No.
Yeah, he goes.
We'll go to Swanage. That's what his home is called, Swanage.
Swanage. What? Come to Swanage, River.
But she even says, I just loved it. I want that feeling again. He's like, tomorrow they'll be all yours.
Yeah, I can't believe that she's actually like fallen for him though. That's
she's high on the applause, man. I mean, imagine everybody clamoring for it. It's like us when we go out and I wear my T-shirt from our show and people recognize us and we get chased.
The Dino and Ted show T-shirt, yeah.
We have other shows too.
Oh frick. But she walks out and she's trying to get to the car, and
there's the Phantom. He waves her off with a little rose. He's got a little rose in her hand, and grabs her ass and takes her up to the roof. These guys are beating off these chicks. Why are chicks trying to get a hold of her?
To roof. They love her.
This was actually, I think, one of the last scenes they filmed.
This was?
One here, yeah. One of that rooftop scene was one of the last ones they filmed.
I could see that. And he's showing her,
they're loading beef.
Beef is dead.
Into the ambulance, and everyone's just yelling, beef, 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 beef.
And he tells her, don't sing the song no more, otherwise you'll die. I mean, I don't think he wants...
He knows that, Swan's up to no good, man.
Right.
Just, don't...
He's trying to convince her to, hey, just stop, come with me, and I'll write for you, and everything else.
Why would I give all that up?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's pretty soon, they'll want more than you can give them. She's like, well, I'll give them whatever they want.
Yes, she's caught up in it all, man. And
she is, man.
Unfortunately.
She'll be having her own little Coke spoon pretty soon.
And I don't think she realizes that it's Winslow Leach.
No, she does not know that that's who it is.
So she just thinks this is some phantom.
Well, I mean, he shows the face, though.
Yeah.
Look what Swan did to me.
He'll do the same to you. That's what he says.
I guess.
But he doesn't.
You're surprised this isn't a more popular Halloween costume. And if you try to buy that mask, there's like replicas. Oh, they're expensive.
Well, that's the thing. Who's going to go out?
Maybe make their own, out of tinfoil or something.
Yeah, true.
Fish bowl, something.
Kind of hard, but yeah.
I don't know.
That would be an awesome
Her jacket's all feathers. You know who did his makeup? Well, in the credits, his makeup is attributed to John Chambers, who was going to work on the movie, but then one of his associates is the one who actually did it. But John Chambers' name is in the credits. And
married to Marilyn Chambers, the porn star.
Who we met.
Yeah.
She liked my hair.
So,
or something.
When he had hair.
I have hair.
Well, you still do.
I shave it off. I just had long hair.
There was a point where it was all the way.
It was longer than Paul Williams' hair, man.
When Ted thought he was Conan.
I had a mane of hair.
Yes, you did.
I mean, I could have it again if I wanted to, but...
He used to headbang and rock that hair and flip it. Man, I can't believe that. Remember that?
Oh, my God. And I don't even have that many pictures of me like that either. But, what I want to say. Where were we getting at?
John Chambers.
John Chambers. He's the makeup artist who won the Academy Award for Planet of the Apes a few years before this film. But he didn't actually do anything on this movie.
No.
They just wanted to have his name in the credits. They liked that, so they never took it off when he dropped out of the movie. So they kept it. So he's got a credit. He didn't actually do anything on this movie. Oh, and I do love this scene. At Swanage, you could see the Phantom on top of the roof.
This is another iconic scene for this movie, where he's
rain and looking down and watching her just make love to Swan.
Yep, he's in a bed, Phoenix is
kissing his chest.
Yeah, all of that good stuff on this bed, and
two shorties going at it,
and the Phantom's like sitting on the glass, with all that rain in the back.
He's putting him on the glass.
Very sad, and the music going, and even Swan will take and turn the camera on.
So he can record it, man. He records everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's going to record his love-making session.
And the camera's like right above, the Phantom.
The rain. Look at when he's looking through the glass there for a moment, and just the rain coming down just off the glass look like tears on the face.
Yeah, no, it's an emotional moment. But yeah, a little cut scene again. It's very well done. I mean, shooting to the video monitor, recording it, showing the back of Winslow Leach is just so sad.
And there's a camera right there above. He's going to know that he was there watching.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, what he's recording is him in the middle.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're seeing what he's recording right there.
Yeah. I don't think he knows that he's there yet.
Yeah, she's just all she's
or
doing.
Or he might, because of what happens next.
She's just macking all over him, man.
Yeah.
Lucky man.
Weird. Yeah. And he screams at the top of his lungs because he just.
But then he's going to kill himself.
Yep.
He takes I guess he's got a knife and stabs himself.
Yep.
But see, Swan knows totally what's going on.
Is the monitor right next to him?
I think he can see it behind.
Yeah.
Like maybe behind them.
Ooh, and that red blood
red groovy.
Yeah. Look at that outfit. It's just so cool with the cape and everything.
He thinks he's dead, and Swan comes up on the roof with his umbrella, and he's got
his
the contract. Yep.
It's underneath his arm.
Drops it there. He's like, you can't die. As long as I'm alive, you're alive.
Pulls the knife out of his chest.
Like, silly. Why'd you do this?
Yeah.
Didn't you read your contract?
Well, Winslow takes...
This contract terminates with Swan.
Yeah.
So as long as Swan's alive, Winslow's alive.
And Winslow takes the knife and tries to kill Swan with it. And Swan laughs at him and goes, I've also got a contract.
Yep.
And that's the one thing in this movie I question. I don't know. It doesn't ruin it or anything, but I don't understand. Maybe get your point of view on it. Is if he's got evidently
it's not necessarily the
Swan,
same contract. Just there's different terms to his contract. There's only a certain
Swan made Winslow sign a contract.
Yes.
Okay. So he sold his soul to
Swan.
Kind of like to Swan.
Yes.
But Swan, kind of, you're going to find out in the end because we're getting close.
Oh, there's a little bit of the silent movie kind of thing with the newspaper, the magazine. Oh, it's Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone, Swan and Phoenix. Hitch up during Faust finale on network.
They're going to get married on live TV.
And they got a question mark in the face area because he's going to wear a mask.
Wear a mask. So you're asking about... So Winslow signed a contract with Swan.
Right.
And, yes, whatever, like you said, binding him eternally to Swan.
But what gives him the power to buy somebody's soul?
Well...
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
It's not exactly explained. Oh, and here she is. She's got her little Coke spoon. See? She's been a star for 3 days, and she's already doing Coke.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing. Yeah.
Come on, girl. You're smarter
Phoenix,
than that.
Come on.
Doing Coke.
But you get what I'm saying,
yeah,
right?
I mean, maybe you can pay it forward a little bit. Like, then you can make a contract with someone. And, I mean, because...
well, here's the scene.
So this is the scene. Swan tells him, I'm also under contract. Now, they have different terms to their contract.
There's a room filled with videos.
Winslow's contract is only broken when Swan dies. It terminates with Swan. So if Swan dies...
Because he's already killed himself.
Right. Well, or the contract would be broken. If he hadn't have done that, the contract would have still been broken. Swan dies, the contract's broken. He'd have been free, I think.
Well, right, yeah. He would have been
free. But he
free.
did this, and...
That's what got him, yeah.
Right. And Swan's got his own contract with its own set of terms. Mm-hmm. And that is what the Phantom now is looking. See,
Yeah, we're
Swan
in a scene
walks into
right
the
now,
club because
real
it's the
quick.
big show tonight.
Yeah.
And this lady's like, yo, Swan, you remember me, don't you? And
We
she's
used
an
to be-
older lady.
Yeah. We used to be high school sweethearts,
Yeah, and
but
she
she's
shows the
real
picture.
old and he's not. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Winslow is watching the tape of
Swan's contract.
Yes, and he's in the tub.
It's 1953.
Yes.
He's a pop star sensation. And he says, you know...
He's a pop star
Oh, and he's smoking a
sensation.
hookah, by the way.
Yeah. I know.
And he says, you know, in the tape, he's recording it, saying that I'm going to kill myself because I'm getting old. And he's like, you know, if I have to watch this face get old, I just want to end it now.
Yeah.
And he's going to take a razor.
Look at his hair, too.
I know. Well, yeah, he looks like, you know, one of them little 50s pop stars almost. He's in the bubble bath.
True.
And he's going to, you know, slit his wrists. But then he's in front of a mirror and he's talking to himself in the mirror. This would be like the devil. Mm-hmm. And he even says that, he's like, I go by many names. Paul Williams has a weird birthmark on his
I know, I noticed that. Yeah. Looks even younger than he is there, too, and from the back.
You know, maybe with the glasses
child.
off and you know, the right kind of lighting, he's just got that look.
But his image of his reflection of himself, who's
the mirror's all red.
Yeah, he goes, well, you said if you could live forever.
Or if you could be young
Or be
forever.
young forever. And, you know, that's where they start
like, well,
questioning
how about we do that, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, he does say you will be able to be young forever, and the condition of the contract is that recording. Mm-hmm. You have to protect that recording at all costs. You have to watch it every day because in the recording, he will get older. The recording will show him getting older. But, and I don't know why that doesn't, I think that, unless I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too. That is what he said?
I didn't, but I know, well, I do know the condition was he has to watch it every day.
Yeah.
He has to view it every day.
I don't remember him saying he would get old as you watch it, but,
I think I remember as many times I've seen it. But you have to watch it every day to remember what
Or maybe he said you'd get older if you didn't watch it.
Or maybe gives him the contract, signs it in blood.
But see, he is the devil.
The devil made the pact with him. And it's not that Swan is the devil, but Swan, you know, he's immortal now, basically. Forever young anyway. And he makes his own contracts and doing the same thing, I guess. I don't know.
I guess once you sell your soul to the devil...
that's the logic of the movie.
You can...
We've accepted far more ludicrous things in the movies.
I know. And listen to me, try to dissect and say something bad about the movie. I'm just curious on how that could possibly be.
Maybe you could pay it forward. Maybe Winslow could write a contract with somebody.
Oh, that all of a sudden, then the video starts going.
Maybe it's other videos. Here's his video.
Yeah.
And he's going to see Phoenix. Phoenix is all stoned and drunk and whatever, and Swan's getting her to sign a contract.
And maybe that's where
for
the
her
video
voice.
Automatically, soul to soul to soul is repeated together. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe.
Interesting, but...
But yeah, he's going to get her voice, She'll get fame, he'll get her voice.
Yeah, she's a little high there.
Yeah, stoned on the coke.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, that's stardom, man.
Sweet little innocent Phoenix.
You got to do the coke.
No.
Look, there's the Pope.
The Pope.
Philbin's playing the Pope. He's supposed to marry them, and he's saying that there's going to be an assassination. That Phoenix is going to be murdered on live TV, and he can't believe it. It's like, well, if you want to kill her, just kill her. Why do we got to do it this way? And he got that idea from watching Beef die at the live show and how much people went nuts for it. He's like, now imagine this. It's going to be broadcast on live TV across the whole country. What's more entertaining than that?
Oh, jeez.
So look at all these videos, all these contracts he's made. These are all contracts he's made, I think.
Oh.
Or they're just the videos of, his conquests or whatever. I don't know.
Well, that's what I thought. But
maybe it is.
Because he records everything.
They look like Sven Gulli there.
Or
the Ghoul or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that the case like you had when you were in Texas that day in 1962?
Oh, my God. So, yeah.
On that grassy knoll?
So what we're talking about really quick is they shot... He sees the killer on the video, okay? And then he takes something electrical and throws it in the room, and he's burning everything down.
Burning
all those contracts, all the videos.
Right.
So,
Right.
perhaps...
And so Swan's going to be wearing a mask and not even going to be realizing what's happening to him.
Right.
Because he's wearing this mask. Oh, and this is a cool little... these were cheerleaders from one of the Texas colleges, football teams.
Looks
and I
like
guess
it.
the outfits were a lot skimpier at first.
Really?
And they were pissed off. Boy, that guy looks like he's into it. But they were not happy about they thought like those feathers looked too much like pubic hairs and stuff like that. So they had to bulk them up a little bit because I guess they were not happy about the costumes.
No.
Oh, look, they're all going gaga.
But they do a little Lady Gaga. Little Lady Gaga going on there.
I don't know about no Lady Gaga. I wouldn't know a Lady Gaga song if I freaking heard it.
Oh God.
Do I want to?
Yeah, she's a good. If anything, she's one of the good artists of the day.
I'm sure she played a lot of smoky clubs and did it the way everybody else does it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big extravaganza is going on right now.
An extravaganza.
Where the big marriage or whatever is supposed to take place. And yeah, really, they're just
Looks like to be the guy that just gets to throw the baton back and forth.
I know, and
that's his gig.
And his stomach's like kind of hanging out.
Yeah, it'd be like me if I was up there. I think that's Iggy Pop, man. I look like Iggy Pop.
Put an extra large shirt on. I mean,
oh, and here comes Phoenix, man.
Dancing. She does it through this whole movie. She does that like weird. I don't know what that dance is.
That's her move.
But it's her move.
It's called the Jessica Harper. And the little chicken thing there.
Yeah, I would say
I like it.
Doing the Jessica Harper, and the guy's up
in
the window.
Pigeon. Oh man, look how fast the Phantom's running through the hall to save her.
The scene of the Phantom running through the halls to get to the killer is
Why don't you
really
just have
cool.
the gun already put together? Sitting there wasting 18 minutes putting the damn thing together.
Yeah, harder to sneak in, I guess.
He was told to come there by Swan.
Oh, and up out of the ground.
Yep, here comes Swan wearing this silver mask. You know what that silver mask is? That was his face mask, his life mask that they made when he was going to be in Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I was going to say...
Because it's made by the same studio,
I was going to say Planet of the Apes, okay.
And he commented, I watched an interview with Paul Williams where he commented that between Battle for the Planet of the Apes and this film, he actually lost quite a bit of weight. And he's like, there's nothing better to remind you of that than wearing a mask of your fat face after you've lost some weight. But that is his face mask, but it's a little chubbier in the cheeks than he actually is in this film.
Wow.
Yep. So that's his real life mask from that.
Very cool.
And there's Papa Emeritus, the I don't know, Zero, whatever, I don't know, from Ghost.
And that's
Iggy Pop again.
And that's beneath the Planet of the Apes.
No, it's Battle for
the Planet.
Yeah, he played Virgil, the orangutan.
Yeah. That's
in that one
with the nuke.
Yes.
Underground.
Or no, that's Beneath the Flames. It's where it's the one that's almost like a made-for-TV one. The Caesar and his son gets killed, all that. Yep, that one. So the Phantom distracts the shot. Yeah. And he ends up shooting Philbin. No big loss there.
Yes.
And
right when he was about to say
chaos.
Right when he was about to say
yes.
I do or whatever, or will you take her as your
And as the Phantom swings over the crowd and rips the mask off of Swan, and we see his face degrading. He's aging. He's becoming desiccating. His contract
looks
is
like
up.
It's melting.
His tape is ruined and he's dying. And he's like, Winslow. But
he tells her, "I get your voice," and he puts his hands around her.
Gonna choke her out.
Neck. Well, or is he trying to get her,
I don't know.
voice? But I don't know.
Maybe with her death, he gets her voice. I don't know. I think he's trying to kill her.
Well, no,
And in the meantime,
they're all going crazy like it's a part of the show.
They think it's part of the show, but Winslow takes one of the feathers off one of the cheerleaders and starts stabbing.
He doesn't
Swan
take
with
a feather off of one of the cheerleaders. He takes one of the head masks.
Head mask. I'm sorry.
That's got you're
like
not
a
going
beak on it.
You're not going to stab somebody with a feather.
I'm sorry. misspoke.
Oh,
I know
here,
where you
I'm
got
going to kill you with my wash rag.
But then everybody starts doing it. Everybody takes it and starts stabbing. You know, there's Iggy Pop stabbing him.
Like it's part of the show.
He had his shirt off 2 seconds ago.
The funny part is Winslow gets his mask off,
The
too.
crowd picks up
and
Swan.
all his makeup is
around.
off.
Yeah, his mask comes off.
So he's turning human again?
No, that's just his face. We're just getting a look at it.
Human.
But his wound opens up.
No, he's got... Under the mask, he had the black eyes, the silver teeth.
He had makeup. He had... Oh, well, let me see. He still has the silver teeth.
Well, he had the black...
I think he had just put makeup on there.
I think that was really part of the effect. I don't know.
But yeah, he still has the silver teeth. I don't think that changes anything. He's not turning human, but his wound from the knife opens back up.
Yeah.
And he dies, and now she realizes it's Winslow because she sees the other side of his face.
Says, no black makeup is on your face. I see it's you now.
Winslow, and she realizes, man, they were old souls.
Yeah. And everybody's still dancing.
Everybody still thinks it's part of the show.
Yeah.
You know, death is art, and, you know, this is the greatest show they've ever seen. They've been entertained, not even realizing what's going on. Very
weird. There's a guy in there.
That's Iggy Pop, man. He just took his shirt off.
There was somebody else there too that just it was really weird. And with the
song "The Hell of It," which I wanted to add here at the end. Mm-hmm. In the late 70s, I'd say 76, 77 maybe.
Yeah.
The Brady Bunch.
The Brady
Bunch. Kids had a little variety show called the
Everybody
Brady Bunch
had
Hour.
a variety show. But go ahead.
This was the Brady Bunch kids.
Right.
Well, actually, most of the characters were in it. This is where, if you've ever heard of the fake Jan, this is where the whole thing of the fake Jan comes from, because Eve Plum didn't reprise her character in this for whatever reason, so we had a fake Jan for the Brady Bunch variety show.
Right.
And Paul Williams was a guest on here, and out of all the songs that he could play, he chose this one for that, the hell of it, the closing song of Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah.
And it's a lip synced number, but it's got a big Dr. Phibes organ, which is completely
You can
fake.
find the clip on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on there. It's not particularly great, but he was trying to, regenerate some interest in the film and the song, and maybe, get some love for it going. And I just think it's kind of funny. Out of all the songs he could have done, that's the one he did.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can watch the clip on there, but it's a cool little performance that he did. And it just seems an odd choice for something related to the Brady Bunch. I even looked for the air date of the episode. It's not like it was a Halloween episode or anything. It wasn't. Right. It came on in March or May or something. So it's just the song he chose to do for the Brady Bunch hour. And he got to push Peter and Greg in a pool, so not bad either.
Pretty cool, man.
Yes.
But yeah, this is Phantom of the Paradise. Man, I love this movie. Between this and Rocky Horror.
And if you haven't seen Shock Treatment, you ever see Shock Treatment, the sequel to Rocky Horror?
I think I started it one time, and
it's very different than Rocky Horror, but the songs are just as catchy in some ways. And Jessica Harper plays.
But where would you put that?
Oh, well,
between the three.
Oh, still last.
Yeah, I mean,
but Jessica Harper's in that as well.
Yeah.
She plays Janet.
Yeah.
Because, well, actually, and a different actor plays Brad as well, but it's still Brad and Janet. But she plays Janet.
Yeah.
Janet Weiss.
But yeah,
or actually, Janet Majors.
Two of the greatest horror musicals ever.
Yeah, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit. This movie's just got a little bit of everything.
It does got a little bit of everything.
It maybe has a little bit of a hard time. It's a little schizophrenic in what it wants to be.
Right.
But it speaks right to me, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, characters.
I think more people should love it.
Yeah, I think just, one of those movies again where everything just comes together. I mean, when they were making the movie, so many things went wrong, but they trudged on and completed filming. And
Brian De Palma's a different kind of director. He'll have a scene. Here's where I'm going to sit, and what can I get out of it that's interesting. His movies are a little different. I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, he's done many iconic films. We got Scarface, we got Carrie, Sisters. If you never saw Sisters, with Margot Kidder and Jennifer Salt.
I think William Finley played in that too.
Yeah, right? I think so. Yeah, I believe he was. That was the film he did right before this one, I believe.
Yeah.
So, our first Brian De Palma film. There we go.
Yeah, cool.
But just a movie that I just love, front to back. Maybe
Back to
not for
front,
everybody,
left to right.
but if you're that kind of person, this is a cool movie for you.
Heck
I don't
yeah,
know. I
man.
can't tell you what kind of person you are, but if you like this movie, you're in the club.
Hell yeah.
There's just a group of us.
So there you go. You got a commentary out of this one. So yeah.
Not a dull moment either, really. I don't think
great.
there was much of a lull at all.
No.
So a few parts where I wish I could have turned the volume up and watched.
Oh no, yeah. You look at it and you go, I wish the music was blaring right now as we're talking about it, but it's all good,
See?
So yeah, another commentary in the book. Hopefully you guys are, digging the new change, the name. I mean, the Dino and Ted show.
We're gonna mix it up, maybe do some music, do some other stuff, other movies.
Yeah, and we'd like to hit some other types of movies and stuff like that. So yeah, who knows?
I could do a whole
week
show
to
on
week.
John Hughes. We
Yeah.
could talk about our music and actually we did some Dino and Ted shows and we did a Breakfast Club and Valley Girl and
Yeah.
music and stuff like that. And I'm sure they're up there. I'm sure you hooked them up somehow, maybe.
Yeah.
So get a little taste of that.
No, so expect more. I mean, Halloween is coming, so there'll be plenty of horror. So I know we're in that community still. So
Are we?
yeah.
Are we?
But there you go,
Do
you
I wanna
guys.
be?
There you go, you guys. Until next week, the Late Late Horror. No, my God,
No.
the Dino and Ted show.
Music.